In case you didn't know, that's the other thing we're doing today. We're gonna be ranking henshin belts. I've never done this before. People wanted me to rank henshin belts, and I said, hey, that's a pretty damn good idea. So we're gonna do it. I didn't want to do like Showa Rider belts. Maybe I'll do that later. Don't kill me. I'm not super interested in Showa Rider belts. They're all fine. I'm not gonna talk bad about them. They're just fine. I respect your opinions, even if you say one of my favorite riders suck. I respect your opinions too, even if they're wrong. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Who's ready to rank Kamen Rider drivers? I don't know what a lot of them are called. I'm gonna need help. They go on this stream, obviously, S, A, B, C, F, R are tiers. There is no D. If you're a D, you're just an F. Let's be honest. I'm gonna rank all of Heisei and Reiwa, all the main drivers, transformation items, whatever you want to call them. Thanks, Hibiki, for not being a belt. I don't know why drive is separated into two. It's one thing. First one, the Arsel, or the Arkle. It's got a couple different forms. I know this because I've seen the CSM of it. This one looks the sickest. Kuga's driver is just a beautiful, simple work of art. I cannot say enough good things about it, especially like when it gets the gold plating like this. I don't know. I haven't seen Kuga all the way through. I haven't seen all this cool stuff it does, but like automatically that has to be an S tier driver for me. TikTok and Kick are both saying B tier, which I think is crazy. Maybe I just like the simplicity of things too much, you know? Because I dig the simplicity of the Arsel. Somebody tell me how to say it, please. It sounds like you're saying arsehole. No, Arkle, right? Wait, how do you say it, guys? Next up is the Altering. The Altering from Kamen Rider Agito. This one has different forms too, right? Yeah, it gets the cool dragon thing on top of it. Meta Factor, that one's kind of sick. I like how they don't look like toys. I don't know how else to put it. They're the coolest when they don't look so toyetic. Like, this is so simple and easy. It's not as cool as this, because I think this one's really sleek. This one's just kind of like I think the black blends weird is like a weird place to put the colors. I'm gonna put it in an A tier still, because I like that it's basic, simple. I just think color-wise, you probably could have made this silver or gold. One of the most toy-looking belts. We get to the V-Buckle. And then you put your deck in there, and it's got your little buddy on it. It's got your little buddy, your little monster, a little mirror monster on the front. I don't really like the V-Buckle. I'm sorry. I know this is like a lot of people's favorite gimmick or favorite belt. It is not mine for sure. I gotta say C tier. Coming off of these two, if I was watching Rider in real time, if I watched this as it was airing in real time, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Oh, that's sick too. And then boom, this season aired, I'd be like, ugh, like, I guess. Look, I played Pokemon TCG and I used mine as a deck box. That rules. The Fize Gear! The Fize Gear! The Fize Gear is a product of its time. You cannot look at this belt and not instantly be like, that's a flip phone. 2007? 2008? 2007 and 2008? Yeah. I had a flip phone back then. I don't think I had a smartphone until like 2010 or 2011. Most people had flip phones back then. You look at this and you're like, yes, I get it. Product of the time, flip phone, flashlight, sure. But also, this is one of the sickest toy belts that they have at all. The CSM for this belt is insane. Everything this belt can do is the coolest shit ever, because not only you're like, I'm a Kamen Rider, you're also like, I'm Batman. This is a utility belt, and that's cool as shit. Buys S tier. It just has to be. And then the new one being a touch, like a smartphone, insanely cool. The Blay Buckle is basic as shit. Goes right down here with Ryuki's. It's almost the same thing when I look at it. I have to like blink and make sure I'm seeing the right one. The Blade Buckle is so incredibly basic. I do like that it flips. The flipping is cool. Other than that, it's a basic bitch belt. I do like belts that like have some mechanical bit to it like that, but I just think this one is so basic and so close to Ryuki, the V-Buckle, that I'm just like, okay. Hibiki has this tuner thing. It's cool enough. Like, I'm gonna put it in B, because it is cool that it's different, you know? The belt, it's fine. It's basic. It looks like an afterthought compared to everything else. I do know that Hibiki wasn't originally meant to be a Kamen Rider. They were just like, we need a season. The Kabuto driver! I freaking love the Kabuto Zector. This is literally the only CSM I have. It's because I love Kabuto so much. I love the Zector. I think it's so cool. It feels so good to slide that shit in. Cast off. Oh, to the beetle motif. One of the coolest things they've ever done. It's gonna go an A for me. It's a little toyetic. I think the belt looks plain as fuck when the beetle isn't in it. When the Kabuto isn't in it, it's just like, okay, this is fine. But it does look cool as shit when Tendo just holds that shit up like a championship, you know? When he holds it up without the Zector in it, it does look like a championship belt, and he's just like, that's my boy. The bias in me wants to put it in an S because I have so much fun just ripping it, letting it rip, you know? I'm gonna be hella biased and put it up in S. The Deno belt, not the Deno driver. I'm gonna be 100% honest with you guys. I don't love Deno. I thought Deno was so boring. I watched like 15 episodes and I was like, this show is so incredibly boring. But goddamn, Deno is my favorite belt, my favorite rider belt, period. My favorite rider belt, bar none. It's so sleek. It's so easy. It's so like everything about it. The scan, so cool. Deno is the best belt there is in the entire franchise. Actually, if I'm fixing this, I'll put it in order of like what I think. Yeah, that's fine. I just had to switch up S. Kivat. I think him biting Wataru is one of the coolest ways to henshin. I don't even like Kiva like that. Is one of the coolest ways to henshin. Kivat goes up in A tier. I think it's so ingenuitive that they were like, man, let's do a vampire and the belt is a bat and you put it in there, it goes and hangs upside down. Like, it's just, this is how you make a toy that makes sense with the show. You know what I mean? Although I will say, this is where we start getting real toyetic, guys. The one that did it first kind of does it the best, Kabuto. But then we get into Kiva and you're like, oh, okay. I get it. I get where we're going. We want to sell this shit to kids. And then we start getting real toyetic. You know what the biggest recession indicator is? A rider using fucking cards. The Decade Driver. A real recession indicator right here. I like the Decade Driver. I think it's cool. It's easy. It easily gets A, probably top of A. I think the pulling it out and flipping thing, easy A tier. Easy A tier. Oh, you know what else is cool? It doesn't have 300 fucking cards it can use. Anyways, the Decade Driver goes in A. I think it's sick. The Double Driver, fucking S tier, baby. Probably right next to the Deno Driver. Symmetry can be very, very beautiful. The Double Driver, the whole double belt exemplifies that. The way it's used. When you can just use a belt and just flick it like that, and instead of this, like, this is how do you guys understand what's happening? Boom, Ichigo, boom, Kuga, double. It's just flipped. And it's so brilliant. It's so brilliant to just go, let's make a driver that uses two people that we can use like this, and it's perfect symmetry. And it's just, this is the design stuff of this show that I fucking eat up. And USBs. Remember how I was talking about like, oh, everybody used these things back in the day. Everyone used flip phones back in the day. That's why Fize is a flip phone. Guess what? By the time Double came out, we were all putting our homework on USBs. You know how many people probably went to school in Japan with a Cyclone and a Joker USB and went, here's my final essay. Oh, Billy, you didn't use AI on your essay. That's great. I'll give you an A+ because you used a Cyclone Joker USB. The O's Driver. The O's Driver is like my Shangri-La. The O's Driver is if I can get one CSM right now for free, I would want the CSM O's Driver. It's so cool. The scanning thing, as you guys know, I love scanning gimmicks. Look at the top of S tier. I think the scanning gimmicks is super cool. You got attitude today, big dog. We love it. Dude, I'm on one. I am passionate about drivers, okay? That first note that hits when you scan the O's Driver, and I'm gone. I'm transformed to another place. I am the food reviewer in Ratatouille that just and he's eating the best food of his life. That's me when I hear the O's jingle. I don't get like that anymore with rider belts. When I hear this, I'm like, cool. It's not like that makes me want to run through a fucking wall the way the O's driver does. So the O's driver, S tier. Boom. Behind the double driver, because I think the double driver design-wise is better. I think it's beautiful, like symmetry. What can I say? The Forze driver. Forze. A lot of you saying Hawk loves Forze. I don't know why you're saying that. It's not like I have every Astro Switch in a crane game behind me with the Forze driver right here. I don't know if you guys understand the layout of my house that's going on. This is my kitchen table. Forze driver constantly sits on my kitchen table. With that being said, you guys made me buy it. I did not want it. You guys made me buy it on this stream. I do not want the Forze driver. I do not like Forze. Stop voting. It's not on yet. Why would I need this if I don't have a Forze driver? 75% of you say, finally, I can have a Forze driver. So I'm adding that to the cart. The Forze driver is not that bad. It's going to be. It's going to be above this guy. For everything that I hate about Forze, I do think the driver is very well done. 50 friggin' Forze switches, you can make 12 different set formations of switches. Okay, this is the thing I love about the Forze driver, is that each slot has its own switches. And I really like that. You can't replace every switch in every slot. Each slot has its own set of switches, and I like the limitations that gives. They don't break those rules, which I love. The Wizard driver! I will preface this by saying I've never seen Wizard. I know there are a lot of ride or die dudes for Wizard. I know there's a lot of dudes who are like, the hand! The hand! I don't get it. I don't get it. I'm gonna put it towards the bottom of C. Not much I can say about it. I know it scans. I know I said I love scanning things. I don't get the giant hand on the driver. I don't know what else you guys want me to say. Wizard also has rings as a gimmick. Sam, you're right. But I also hate Gojuger having rings as a gimmick. So that probably adds to this bias. Game! Don't say no. Just live more. Don't say no. This is one of those ones where I'm like super biased because I love Gaim. I think the driver's so sick. I think it's amazing. If I pull back and look at it objectively in this whole list, I'm like, where does it actually stand? Because as a driver on its own, blank without a lock seat in it, it's super plain. It's super plain. Without a lock seat, without a faceplate, it's kind of basic. But putting the lock in, and then this is just a knife that's cutting fruit. I think that's very funny. Goes with the theme and everything of the, like a little too on the nose for the theme of the season. I'm very much kidding. It probably goes like lower A tier. Because the more I think about it, the more like on its own, it doesn't really stand out as a belt. It's just kind of blank and plain, and you're like, oh, it's a sword that cuts fruit. And even then it's like, it's kind of goofy, but we all know it to be goofy in the context of, oh, this show is actually crazy. So I think we all have that attachment to it. Pulling back a little bit, I have to give it less than an S. Because it doesn't stand up with these ones. The Drive Driver and the Drive Brace. The Drive Driver was my first belt. I really like the brace. I think this should be 1. I don't know why it's 2. These are the same thing. I'm gonna put them in the same area because I don't like ranking them like that. I think this is cool. I don't know why they haven't used the LED since then. Yeah, it's just an unused function that I hope gets used more. Lights, the sounds, and everything of it rules. It's not very customizable. It probably got hacked within the first 2 days of it being out because everything is very self-contained in this, which I think nowadays Toei sees as sort of like a minus. Oh, we can't let all the lights and sounds just be in the gimmick that we give them day one, because then we have nothing to sell them later because you can just get a master key and put it in and make it go. All of that stuff is stuff I love about the Drive Driver. With that said, it's got to go above Forze in B. You get some voice lines in there. Start your engines. Nice drive. I think it's cool. Go, 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 Ghost! I think there are ride or dies for Ghost. Love Ghost as a series. I don't think there are any ride or dies for Ghost the belt. And if there are, goddamn, I feel bad for you. Ghost is a bad belt, guys. There's nothing redeeming about the Ghost belt. It's a ball. You drop in there, you press it. It's simple, in the worst way possible. Take off the front and Ghost will have the best driver of the damn franchise. That is true. The front is just a big eyeball and it's weird. Yeah, Ghost is an F for me. Now, the gamer driver. The gamer driver, if you know me, if you've been on this channel for a while, you'll know that I think the gamer driver is the worst toy there is in Kamen Rider in terms of drivers. Like, I've seen people be like, I want a gamer driver CSM. And to that, I say, what? What do you want? You want a box with 2 mirrors in it? You just want a box with 2 mirrors in it? I don't understand. What do you mean a CSM? Even the gas shots are just lame. Like, they don't stand up on their own. They're just like awkward and weird. With that said, I do think it's fun to play with. So I'm going to put it up here in B because I do think it's really fun to play with. I like seeing the things in the mirror. I like the different combinations they have when they do. The jingles are good and everything. Yeah, I do think it's good to play with. The build driver. I don't know if you guys can see very well here. That's a whole build shelf. Unfortunately, the build belt is not an S tier design. I love the show. I will ride and die for the show all day. I will be leading the charge with you guys, defending this show and its masterpiece-ness for the rest of my life. I don't think the belt is an S tier and deserves to be up there. I don't even think I think the belt's an A tier, honestly. I think it's top of B tier. This is me putting my bias aside. I think it's a little weird. It's just a little weird. I think it's a little weird how you have to crank the belt. If I was wearing the belt right now and I was just like this, you guys would think I was weird. If the front of the build driver didn't look so painted on, then it would be higher up. I don't think it'd still be S tier. It'd at least be A tier. It feels stickery and it feels like a toy. The Jiku driver. By the time the Jiku driver came out, I was so done with combining gimmicks. Combining gimmicks, which is crazy because look at everything next. That said, goddamn, the Jiku driver is so cool. The Jiku driver goes probably below the Sengoku driver. The Jiku driver is so sick. Having the LED run the year across it, so cool. The spin to it, even cooler. Dong. And that whole thing spins, sick. I was all about it. I thought it was cool. The gimmicks, this felt like so much stacked up on each other, but it like worked here, you know? The 01 belt, the first Reiwa era driver. An absolute throwback, the early drivers. And I'm not just talking about the 01 driver, I'm also talking about progress keys, remember. Because they're combined, obviously. The progress keys and the 01 driver. A lot of you know how I feel about 01. A lot of you don't like how I feel about 01, and I understand that, okay? Legit one of the best drivers in the entire franchise. Legit one of the best. Like, I'm not even capping here. Legit one of the best drivers in the franchise. It is so good. It is so, like, the progress key going in, the driver shifting over, the circle being a throwback to the original, like, Ichigo driver. It's so good. It's such a cool toy. I'm so bummed I don't have. I'm legitimately bummed that it was the only Reiwa driver that I don't have. They saw this, they were like, we need to redesign the Kuga one and the Ichigo one and do that for the Reiwa era. And they nailed it. I think they absolutely nailed it. The Sigen Sword driver! Dude, I want to put it in an F so bad, you don't understand. But I'll put it in C because it's functional enough. But without swords or a book in it, it looks so dog shit. I love that you can like switch these out to the main 3 riders. I think that's really cool and a really good idea. But the Sigen Sword driver by itself is just so empty and lame. This one looks a bit better because it's not all this empty space on it. The Revice driver. Liked when I got it. Having it for years now, man, that toy does not hold up. That ink fades real fast. The stamps are cool. I think they were a cool idea, a cool gimmick. It is funny that they got a gimmick that you're supposed to like breathe on right after COVID, but I digress. The ink just doesn't hold up. I think it was a bad choice for a toy to do that way. It's interesting. It's just like, man, I want these toys for years and years to come, Just didn't work. I gotta put it below Forza. Low B. Low B tier, because I think the flipping and it being the 50 on it does make it cool. I really like Vice Stamps. Vice Stamps saved this for me, honestly. Vice Stamps saved it for me. Probably one of the few people who legitimately enjoyed and liked Revice as a show. Jeez. What are we talking about? Dog, I am Iki Igarashi. The Desire Driver from Kamen Rider Geats. From Kamen Rider Geats, one of my favorites, one of my favorite shows. Absolutely incredible show. All aura farming and hype moments. That's all Kamen Rider Geats is. Aura farming and hype moments. And I'm here for it. Jingle those keys in front of my face again. You guys were saying on TikTok that that the Sengoku driver was the most customizable driver. I present to you the actual most customizable driver in Kamen Rider history by far. There are so many ways you can do it. Desire driver gets an S tier. Boom. One of the least spread out tier lists we've ever had. Desire driver gets an S tier. It's a near perfect driver. You have the ID core, which changes for whoever you are. It's crazy to me that they didn't release a like make your own ID core set. If they wanted to print money, if they wanted to save us from a recession, they would release a print your or make your own ID core set. But I love the Desire driver. I love the add-ons to it. Even without the add-ons and just the ID core in, you could still look at it and be like, that's a Kamen Rider driver. I get it. The Gotchar driver. You guys know me too well. Yeah, the Gotchar driver gets an F. Bar none. And I'm like, trust me, this isn't me picking on the show. The driver itself, bar none, is the worst fucking driver in all of Kamen Rider, guys. It is just a clunky box. Doesn't read cards right half the time. Combines them and you make the little face in the middle. But then we just started throwing attachments on them and not giving a fuck about the rules that we set on Gotchar. Remember when every combination was supposed to make a level 10 because that's how alchemy worked? Because alchemy was about the balance of it all? What happened? Also, this shit has 300 cards, and I don't give a fuck about any of them. I don't think you guys understand it. In now, but also in like 3 years, how many of these cards are going to be in trashes, in dumpsters, in heaps, in trash piles that are going to be burned to light fires and keep us warm in the coming apocalypse. That's what this driver was made for. Show my stomach's stomach. Or I guess this is his mouth. The henshin belt Gabu. I will tell you what this has over the build driver. You ready? Is literally movement. The button on the side and it coming out makes it better than the build driver. I hate to say it, but like the fact that it moves like that, instantly better. The Gochizos, I've been vocal on how lame-ish of a gimmick I think they are. They're better than cards, but they're just like a fine gimmick. Like I said, I do think this one is better than the build driver. With that said, I have to put it above the build driver. I'm even gonna put it above the Sengoku driver. I'm not gonna put it above the Decade driver though. I think it goes right under the Decade driver. Even though I just said it's better gimmick than cards, I think the Decade driver does it much better. And I just like the limitations that Decade Driver puts on itself, you know? Looks like there won't be an add-on for the top, which is surprising to me because when we got it and we unboxed it, I was like, oh, the top comes off. There's definitely going to be something happen here. And when we learned that it was his actual body part, I was like, oh, he's going to get a surgery to make a new top part, and that's his final form. None of that's happening, apparently. Gochus are a great gimmick. In show, they're great at recon. I do like them in the show. I just think as toys, they're just like, they're fine. But there is your Rider belt tier list. All the belts from Heisei to Reiwa era. I can't do Showa because the Showa belts are all just kind of fine. I would put all the Showa belts probably in C, and you guys would be like, you can't put Black RX in C. You can't, but I love Black. My grandfather showed me Kamen Rider Black when I was little, and it's the only thing we have together, so I can't accept that you put it in C. Showa hater. And it's like, yeah, I just haven't watched Showa era stuff. Sorry.